Hello to you guys and welcome to a new episode of Let's Pause to Listen. We are fighting our way further through my personal favorite list, and today's choice is that one game that owns all review scoreboards and is ranked as the best game ever on a lot of compiled lists. I'm talking about Zelda 64, Ocarina of Time. After numerous new Zelda games over time, this one still stays the untouchable one as described by Game Informer. There are not a lot, but there are some gamers out there who dare to say that this game is totally overrated and that the lasting love of fanboys is due to massive nostalgia. Yeah, this game will drop the nostalgia bomb on me until I'm dead. This game to me is what Harry Potter novels were to Alan Rickman. When my grandkids ask me, "Grandpa, do you still play this game after all these years?" Always.
There are three different sorts of music: the ocarina themes, level music and the open world music. And one track is more beautiful than the other. The music of this game is not only for entertainment purposes though, not by far. It is the vital part of the game. We have to play music in order to keep proceeding. Except if you are a very skilled speedrunner with every possible shortcut in mind, there is literally no way of continuing the game on numerous occasions. The ocarina from the title is the instrument Link has to play. After the release of the game, the popularity and sales of ocarinas worldwide rose significantly. They are available with different tuning and variety of looks and materials.
The grandmaster of video game music, Koji Kondo, who is responsible for most of the iconic and big Nintendo themes we all know today, single-handedly composed the entire soundtrack of Zelda 64. He himself said that composing the themes for the ocarina was his hardest task he ever had. Before we begin to describe their beauty, let's have a look on a little technical matter that still bothers me.
I did a lot of research regarding the cause of the difficulty to write these ocarina themes because Kondo had to use only 5 notes: D, F, A, B and D again. That's it. But where does this limitation come from? Certainly not from the ocarina. This instrument can produce way more notes. Or did Nintendo give the order to keep it as simple as possible for the players by using a very small number of notes? Unfortunately, I couldn't find the answer, but if you know more, please enlighten us in the comments. I just don't understand this restriction because it wouldn't be too hard for gamers if they had to play 8 notes instead of 5. The Nintendo 64 joypad would easily allow an 8-note system. If I am missing something here or you guys know more about that, please share your wisdom with us. In any case, it is fascinating how many distinguishable themes Kondo could make out of just 5 notes. 6 themes that can make you travel to a certain location in no time, 6 themes with different functions, for example Zelda's Lullaby, which is basically the Access All Areas card of the game. You can actually buy a poster on Amazon with 21 original Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask themes. As soon as you get the melody right on the ocarina, a sequence plays the desired tune directly afterwards and you can hear it in all its glory. Most of the non-travel melodies are not very spectacular. Some of them are downright boring, like the Sun's Song. They are over very quickly, which makes sense for keeping the game flowing and not losing too much time on waiting for the job to be done. But some of them are connected with the music of their origin. Saria's song is basically the tune from The Lost Woods. Epona's song is from the Lon Lon Farm music. The leitmotifs of this game are not only representing characters, but rather the locations and regions where you can find them. Big exception is the Song of Storms. This product of Zelda 64's little time paradox may stress out the Windmill guy, but to us it is a very joyful tune.
True sound magic starts to happen when we get to the travel melodies. Step by step and level after level, the young and mysterious man named Sheik teaches you all kinds of melodies and plays duets with you on his little harp. Oh glory, how many million miles poor Link had to walk travel just because I wanted to listen to these short pieces of heaven.
They also get different names than the other pieces. They are not called songs anymore, but rather prelude, nocturne or serenade. All these names actually represent forms of classical music pieces. Let's tackle them in order. The Prelude of Light warps you into the Temple of Time. It is not very spectacular, but nevertheless very soft and light, much as you would imagine this massless form of energy what we know as light. The connection with something rather positive, such as light, with the fact that the temple resembles some sort of church or cathedral is quite clear, as much as the usage of the name Prelude. One of the greatest composers of preludes, and of course lots of other brilliant pieces, Johann Sebastian Bach, worked for the St. Thomas Church in Leipzig, Germany, the last 27 years of his life. I don't know if this connection was intended, but I love when these sorts of links pop up. The Menuet of Forest is a lovely one. It brings you right in front of the forest temple. Such an easygoing and mellow tune. No stress, no harm, just like you would picture a nice and quiet picnic in the forest glade. If you listen carefully though, it is not a minuet. A minuet is also a dance in 3/4 time from the early Baroque era, but it has a different rhythm to it. This is clearly a waltz. But yeah, I get it. Waltz of Forest does sound a wee bit strange, so minuet it is. A very serious and fiery ocarina tune is maybe also the most awesome one of them all. Of course I'm talking about Bolero of Fire. Its attitude is derived from the second part of the name and of the place to where it warps you, in front of the fire temple. It is called Bolero because of its distinctive rhythm of the slow Spanish 3/4 time dance, which became world famous through the piece Bolero by the composer Maurice Ravel in 1928. Our Bolero builds up so strongly with this very simple melody that gets picked up by strings and rises to a beautiful climax, only to be resolved in a wonderful chord and to cross the finish line. After this, you most likely find yourself replaying it, just because it is so frustrating that this unbelievable piece is over so quickly and you want to hear it once more. Next in line is another soft one called Serenade of Water. It's the shortest melody with only 5 notes, which is rising up constantly, as if it wishes for the Hylia lake to raise its water level again. The harp is playing in the other direction, mimicking flowing water. Koji Kondo really manages to draw a little acoustic painting with just a few notes. Amazing! The dark one is the Nocturne of Shadows. Nocturne is derived from the Latin word nocturnus, which means at night. The original idea of a nocturne was to be a musical piece that is so calm and quiet that you could play it even at night without disturbing anybody. And with its dark melody, it really is the proper name for the Song of the Shadows that brings you to the gate of the creepy Shadow Temple. Last but not least is the Requiem of Spirit. Why Requiem? A Requiem is a mass for the dead and deceased. It is mostly celebrated at funerals in order to pray for the souls of those who have died. Albeit many people would beg to differ. For our purposes, soul and spirit is the same thing, which makes the connection to the word Requiem far easier. The piece is indeed very peaceful and has a little sadness to it, which is exactly what the title promises.
Let's find out how the levels and the rest of the world of Zelda 64 sounds like in the part 2 of my Ocarina of Time analysis. Hope to see you over there.